Here comes our guest.
In Hail Rhea.
Our
Come on in.
speaker will be on
Would you like get in?
Hello.
And if I
What's sorry?
didn't-
Would you like me to lead you in?
If you wish to
Sure.
ask questions for them, by all
Very well.
Skaten. Alright.
Ah, Pine Rhea! Perfect.
Hello.
Slightly early, but that's perfectly fine.
Hey, better early than not early.
Better early than late.
That is true.
Again,
Means
better.
we can get the ball rolling right now.
What was that, sorry?
We can get the ball rolling right now. Please follow everyone that's heading
I'll
that
follow
way.
Rupert.
Alright.
Hey, follow Rupert.
Oi, you two. Jesus, stop.
Oh, thank the gods they left the bloody door open. Mind the spider.
Being careful.
Aye, big furry thing. Go round. Big grand place this is.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It's very,
before.
very long.
You might want
Entrance
get
to
lost.
the-
Don't
to
jump down
the
there.
Please
what?
do not jump down the hole. We've already had an instance of people jumping down the hole.
Aye, like
This cycle.
earlier.
I'm following Rupert.
Aye, I'll not lead you straight. I don't know where you want them to sit though, Skaten.
I believe, if you would like, I can put 2 chairs down at the end of the table for you both.
I am content to stand.
I'll go find the rest, Skathan.
Sure.
Are they in the dojo?
I did let them know that we're going to start. So they should be on their way. Hopefully you two can hear me from all the way over there.
We can.
We can hear you from the other end of the table.
Perfect. Because you are like on the border of... You probably can't hear me from here.
I can, actually.
Oh.
It's a little quieter, but yeah.
Maybe the distances has increased. Interesting. Maybe I can make the table longer.
It's a little quiet. I feel like maybe if someone was in the corner over there and then you were in the far corner, it might not work.
True, true. We'll wait for the last few people to get here, and then we will begin proceedings.
Say some words for my curiosity.
Words.
Aye, pretty good.
Hello, I am Dr. Rhea.
But it was only a single word. Dr. Vine.
Nope, that
just
was
in
words.
case, all rise for chair magics, just in case.
They're sharing the load. Aye, it's a small one.
Unfortunately, we do not have the whole table here today, but we have a small gathering for you both. As many have spiritual affairs that, on a cycle like today, cycle like this, many can't make it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Flynn, Saki, Oji, stop looking so menacing and sit down.
Yeah, standing
Fine.
behind us with weapons drawn is really quite the appearance.
Put the weapons away. This is a hall of peace, not a hall of war.
Yeah. I'm gonna sit here, man. Come here, Saki.
And the sunburns one?
Yeah. We like it.
Aye, there's like a skylight that sometimes gives trouble to those who are sensitive to the skylight.
Fine. I'll sit on the other side. God.
I were just explaining it to Pine and Rhea.
I appreciate that, Rupert.
Okay.
Mhm.
If everyone could take a seat, and I will begin the proceedings of our lovely meeting here. First, I'd like to welcome Doctors Pine and Rhea to the Great Table. Thank you for meeting with us on such short notice.
Of course, happy to.
I'm going to start this meeting like I normally do. Please be seated. If you are a vampire, this is a warning. Please do not sit on the far end of the room. There is a skylight you may burn. But other than that, welcome one and all. First things first, I'd like to discuss conduct within the hall today. Please, if you are not speaking at the center of the great table, where you see the two small tables, please use your inner voices. The only people that can use their outer voices are the speakers that are speaking in the center on the topics today, myself, and of course, the lovely Dr. Pine and Rhea. If a request is asked at the table, then well, we'll work that out, as this is not really going to be one of those kind of meetings. But first, I do have a large submitted amount of questions for Dr. Pine and Rhea, but I will allow those of the room who wish to talk and ask questions of Dr. Pine and Rhea. And for you both, this is regarding many recent events involving the Vampire Hunters Guild, Inquisitor Yarrick, and the threat to many lives in the realm. These are probably the most likely topics to be brought up today. So, if anyone that wants to ask these two lovely individuals questions, please make your way to the center and form a line on either side. Just one? Understood? Well then. Would you please walk up to the center of the table and ask your questions?
Dr. Rhea, Dr. Pine, do you write reports directly to Vampire Hunters Guild?
As in, do we answer to them directly?
Do you write reports, submit them to them, whatever? Are you in direct communication with Vampire Hunter Guild?
No.
Reports that are written, are they all written by members of the Althea Clinic?
In what regard?
Incident reports specifically.
Incident reports can be written and have been written by members of the VMA in its entirety, not just members of Althea Clinic.
Understood. So anyone could have been writing any of these reports that go up on Wakegates.
It is organizational policy.
Yes.
Familiar. I think that is all I wish to ask at this time.
Understood. Thank you. Next, the gentleman in the fine coat. Though I'm not certain if they are speaking or...
Yes.
Oh,
Doctor,
seems your voice is back.
indeed. Doctor Pine. If the Inquisition were to put one of you under duress in the form of threats of torture or threats to your life to gain information from you, would you resist with all your might, or would you give in for your own safety?
Information is a very broad topic, so I will act on the assumption that you are talking about information between myself and my patients. Information which I hold in confidentiality until my life is taken from me.
Very well.
Thank you. I guess we're now going to get on to the questions that I have been forwarded. Though, I will inform you both now that I do not have the 100% context regarding these questions, but I will do my best to inquire further questions if needed regarding them. My first question to you both is, and I quote, did you guys aid and or write to the Vampire Hunters Guild knowing the Vampire Hunters Guild will not just stop at one group or one vampire or werewolf?
Is the question asking if we wrote to them or if we know about their methods of operation?
It's a bit of a double jointed question. Let's split this one up. First, did you guys aid or write to the Vampire Hunters Guild?
We were interrogated for what I would interpret as general knowledge by the Vampire Hunter Guild and answered truthfully. If you
Understood?
would call that aiding, then yes.
Understood. Do you know what the Vampire Hunters Guild will do after it acquires the target of one group or one vampire?
The Vampire Hunters Guild has a 300-year-long history steeped in blood. One that I am acutely aware of, and one that I would wish to avoid.
Understood. Question number 2 on my list. For both of you, who do you consider worth protecting? Either everyone or just those who align with your moral obligations?
Dr. Rhea and I are very firm and almost incessantly repetitive on our stance that all lives are worth saving. I do not judge a person in need of help, in need of medical attention. I save them because they are in need. There is a single limitation that might prevent someone from receiving VMA care, and that is if they are a direct threat to me or my patients. I will not bring someone into my clinic that might maim me or someone else seeking recovery. I do not consider myself a judge of someone's character. I do not think it is my responsibility.
I'll be right back.
I would like to underscore this point, as Dr. Pine and I have repeatedly demonstrated the care that we have shown both on the battlefield and off of it to all of our patients and to all of those who have been in need of care. I mentioned the Cursed Forest, the expedition to Mortium, the battle at the Iron Mines, along with several other documented public instances where we have provided care to all without exception for the mere fact that they were in need of it.
Understood. Is there anyone who wants to ask any questions upon this answer? As I feel like it might be interesting to see if anyone wants to follow up on this one. No one? Understood. Next question. Regarding the whole Dundee situation, why point the blame to Farbane? What does this seek to achieve?
I believe you'll need to be more specific what you mean by the Dunley situation.
Well, recently,
I know what they're talking
Dunley came together to have a meeting. The meeting eventually started pointing towards wanting to direct the hostilities towards Farbane that might come from the Inquisitors, or possibly the Dunley militia and Silverlight.
Might I answer a question with a question?
If you may.
Were you present at this meeting?
No, but I know multiple who were.
Well, those people might report to you that neither Dr. Rhea or myself called for scapegoating Farbane, or however you wish to put it. I was outspoken in one thing. I will say it here plainly. I was outspoken in getting to the bottom of the claims that the VHG are responsible for the creation of werewolves. And my intent to look into the matter with my skills as a doctor and a ritualist.
Understood.
I am a resident of Farbane. Why would I want it to burn down?
We live here too. This is our home as much as it is yours.
Understood. Now, this question, unless there's anyone that wants to ask upon this question that's just been said. I know someone just spoke. If you would like to come to the center of the room and ask the question more publicly, by all means. If anyone does have any questions, please make your way to the center of the room and ask them now.
I publicly stated at this meeting that I was a resident of Farbane and am not pleased with the idea of it burning down.
As it has already been mentioned, the Vampire Hunters Guild's history and legacy and documented tendency to cut a far broader swath than necessary.
I did, in fact, advocate for evacuation if the VHG sets its sight on Farbane.
Where would we evacuate to? To Dunley?
Somewhere outside of the VHG's sights. That is not me advocating for Farbane's destruction, that is me advocating for the preservation of human lives.
As you wish.
Oh, human. There it is.
People. Whatever you want to call it. Talam, myths, vampires, innocent people.
We believe very firmly that all lives are worth saving. If you wish, our patients could of course attest to that, though we will not be divulging any sort of patient information. As of course, as previously stated, we hold patient confidentiality in strictest and highest regard.
I'd like to also state, OG, that if you do want to ask a question, please come to the center of the room.
Yeah. I got it. I'll shut up now.
I'm not asking you to shut up, I'm just asking you to do procedure. Who's next to ask a question?
It appears that person has instead just casted another blame on us and then walked away without hearing my response. But I will give it to the rest of the people, since you are all here to listen to my questions and my answers. I never advocated for blaming it on Farbane. I stated publicly that I was a resident here and was not comfortable with the idea of it burning down. Octavian, for those of you that are familiar, is the leader of the Dunley militia and the de facto leader of the location of Dunley, stated that we in Farbane should evacuate.
Absolutely.
That it was being directed by the Dunley militia. I believe you have a line. Unnamed, masked, hooded individual.
The lines form on both sides of the table and I swap from side to side.
Very
They
well.
just get to skip the line? That's not very fair.
No, you technically will be going after the person on the left. If the next person on the left would please.
Yes. I can speak on this as I investigated this personally to the best of my ability. Wilfred, the origin wolf formerly of Gracefell Village, who has now departed Vardarin, gave an account that he was once a member of the Vampire Hunters Guild. He gave an account that the creation of werewolves was the result of an attempted ritual that was designed to make the Vampire Hunters Guild better at fighting vampires, that he volunteered for this ritual, that some of those who participated died, that he survived along with 12 others, that it appeared at first that the ritual was a success. He was stronger, he was faster, he was quicker to heal. Then the moon rose, or the blood moon, and it became rather apparent that he was something entirely different now. The Vampire Hunters Guild has destroyed evidence of this, as stated by Wilfred. Furthermore, they have taken great efforts to make sure that it cannot be recreated. And furthermore, this ritual involved blood magic and a blood moon, despite the fact that the Vampire Hunters Guild naturally does not work with vampires in any capacity. It is a point of outstanding question, however, from the direct account of Wilfred on this regard, werewolves were created by the Vampire Hunters Guild in a failed attempt to make themselves stronger.
Interesting.
I have
Covering
my
up-
own feelings, one
Covering
I
up their
wish I-
mistakes is the common assumption.
They have described it as a mercy. They believe they are showing a mercy to those who are werewolves. That is what they have described.
As the person on the right said, they will wait until after Rupert. Rupert, you may go next.
Hey, hello, doctors. Fine, right. My questions won't be very complicated. I will start by asking, in particular at Pine, would you consider me a friend? Aye, that's good to hear. I'll consider you a friend as well. My next question would be, you know that there are some folk who don't want to be revealed as their natures, be they vampires or werewolves or the like, even among those who are harder to conceal, such as Salam.
Mhm.
I've got another question. Would you knowingly lie to someone that you cared for if you considered them a friend?
Are you saying would I lie to you?
No, I'm asking if you would lie to someone you considered a friend, not just me specifically.
May I ask for clarification on the subject matter of this lie? Or just any
Yes.
lie?
It's relevant. I'll swear it to my next coming question.
If I can see situations where I would lie to someone I consider a friend. As a doctor, I am entrusted with an incredible amount of sensitive information, and it would not be my place to share it.
That's a good answer. And informant. Would you consider any individuals in the Vampire Hunters Guild friends?
No.
No, absolutely not.
Aye. That leads me to my next, where the relevance is more clear. Have you ever found yourself to be in a position where you were pressured to divulge important information, such as, say, the identity of someone who did not wish to be revealed? to anyone. Not saying whether you have or have not, but if you have been in that situation.
I have been put in that situation multiple times, and every time I have taken the action to defend or keep hidden the identity of someone who wished their identity to be hidden. It is not
you
my
have-
place, nor is it ever my place, to speak on someone's secret for them. But Dr. Pine and I are very firm in this belief. We are not going to divulge personal information about somebody else. That will always be their decision to make.
And are you speaking for Pine as well?
Dr. Pine can give their comment if they wish, but yes.
Absolutely.
A sentiment shared.
Very good. Have you been completely 100% successful in doing so? Or have your actions on occasion led to sometimes these identities being revealed to folk other than who were originally in the knowing?
As far as I am aware, no.
Why? Have you ever pressured anyone in the other opposite sense to reveal information about someone's identity, be it their own or someone else's?
I have informed people who I know are keeping their identities hidden in private situations that I am aware of their identity, but not in a way to pressure them to reveal anything, but just to let them know that I am aware and available to provide aid if they should ever find themselves in need of it.
But you've never made anyone to confess these things, even when you knew better already.
No.
Rhea?
Of course.
No. It is our place as doctors at times to inform our patients that if there is something that we need to know to appropriately treat them, that we would be best served knowing it. Medicine is a discipline in which having incomplete information on a situation could be dangerous to a person. But we do not force people to do such things.
Hi.
Of course.
Do you feel, this might be a bit speculative, that you would ever be compelled to do so in the future? Specifically to going back to the earlier point of revealing anyone's identity. Would you be compelled, do you speculate?
As stated previously, information that patients share with us in confidentiality will be taken to my grave.
Mm-hmm.
That's all my questioning. Thank you both.
Thank you, Rupert.
Bye.
A fine gent on the right.
I'd like to ask if you pushed back against Octavian, the captain of the militia, announcing that he would be blaming Farbane. I am not a figure of political power or involved in politics greatly, and certainly not somebody that could tell Octavian otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
I did not bring up the topic. I did not announce the topic's implementation. I expressed my upset and discomfort with the topic, given myself and my family are residents of Farbane. I do not believe that there was an outstated pushback in blaming Farbane unilaterally by everybody present. Because in that situation, there was little to be pushed back on. Octavian had made a decision.
One way or the other.
Nobody had the power to decide anything before Octavian was present. Admittedly, there was very little call for not blaming Farbane, since the group seemed divided into two sort of opinions. Opinion A being blame Farbane, let's save Dunley, and opinion B being fuck that, let's fight them.
As you
Mhm.
I was a minority opinion as I fell outside of both of those beliefs, and expressed my upset in blaming Farbane as it is my place of residency. But to answer your question, there was not much pushback in blaming Farbane. Very few were spoken about it. But of those few that were outspoken about it, I would count myself among them, which is an important clarification, I feel. You were present at the meeting by your own statement.
Mhm.
as you wish.
I do not believe I have been called here to throw people under the carriage. There were many people that called for the destruction of Farbane.
Mhm. The meeting was not called by us, nor was the thought to blame Farbane proposed or pushed by us, nor was the decision that the militia would prioritize Dunley made by us. As previously stated, Octavian made the statement that he would prioritize Dunley.
I will add something to this bit of information. I have been given information on the person that organized the meeting. Who do you believe organized the meeting? As it was not Octavian.
No, it was the person that put up the waygate calling for the meeting with their name on it.
Good. Person on the left. By all means, it is your turn.
Absolutely.
By all means, go ahead.
Ask away.
No.
Aid is a very loose word. It is entirely truthful that we accompanied the VHG on their hunt for who we now know as Wilfred. We were with them on their walk from Gracefall through Dunley and through Farbane, and with a brief detour in the Hollowed Mountains.
Mhm.
At no point did we raise our blades in defense of the Vampire Hunters Guild. We followed them because we are incredibly aware of their operating procedure and know that death is left in their wake. My only hope was to alleviate that. Unfortunately,
No.
I
As stated previously, I did not, or Dr. Rhea, neither of us, raise a blade during that fight.
When the fight transpired, both Dr. Pine and myself waited at the mouth of the cave until it was over.
And once the fighting had ended, we entered the cave and checked the vitals of the VHG hunters, whom we determined were all dead.
Mhm.
We did not throw spells, we did not throw blades, we did not use medical supplies. We sat at the mouth of the cave, being protected by those that cared for our safety and knew that we were there with no harm intended.
Both Dr. Pine and myself were very aware that if we took any action to get involved in the fight in any capacity, it would likely have meant our deaths. We had no wish to be involved in the fight in any capacity. We waited at the door until it was over.
I would question the validity of your sources.
Color me.
This way.
I do not believe so. No. We simply trailed the hunters on their path from Gracefall Village down to Farbane, allowing them to search while observing them from a distance and staying in their trail.
Thank you. A lovely person on the right, please ask your questions.
Have I ever taken a life in self-defense? I fear it is the unfortunate truth that there are not many present in this hall, in this Farbane, in this Vardoran that could say that they have never. We live in a world filled with violence and cruelty, and unfortunately I have been subject to it. If you are referring to the fact that vampires are unwelcome into Dunley and Silverlight, I believe that that is just a part of civilized society. People have...
Civilized.
I
OG
would request permission to
voices.
speak uninterrupted. Just as I am currently in your home, and should you wish me unwelcome, you would have every right to get me to leave, and with force should I refuse. I am not a member of Dunley or Silverlight's governing bodies. I am not a part of their politics. But it
I'm
is
gonna
their
go see
home.
what's going on.
Apathetic.
I have been unfortunately witness to the cruelty that
Who the fuck is that?
all manner of people are capable of. I do not blame them in wanting to defend their homes and their towns and their cities when I have watched people go there with violent intention and tear through those cities and leave them covered in blood. But I do not take part in their prejudice. I am not a part of their system. I am just a person that lives under it.
As previously stated, we firmly believe that all lives are worth saving. We have, do, and will continue to treat those of all kinds, vampires included.
I am unfamiliar with border patrol methods. I would request elaboration. Uh-huh.
I have no strong
But what-
feelings one way or the other.
I feel like this is the same question that you already asked me. I do not believe the militia is sending forces into your homes. I'm not sure. Are you referring to their excursions into Oakvale and Mortium? As I talked about in your first question, they would claim the streets are theirs. This is part of civilized society. Countries exist and claim sovereignty over their borders. Humans are not alone in their enaction of this. There is a country called Caladran, which maintains their borders, and were you a human caught in the wrong part of Caladran, you would likely be killed or worse. Or, were you to try and sail there as a human merchant, you would be destroyed by their giant dragon guarding their waters. I do not believe that the sovereignty of nations and the borders they claim is really an appropriate topic for this table.
Also, it's not a dragon, it's a sea serpent.
Apologies.
Countries exist.
It's fucking massive.
It's
But
very,
we have
very
dragons.
large.
It's a manticore. Vardrin has manticores. Not
Manticore
a dragon.
is dragon.
Is not a dragon.
Call it a dragon because I have a personal affection to dragons. I think they're awesome.
Manticore is dragon. It is awesome. All awesome.
Do you
We'll vote
have
later if it's
do
a
you
dragon
have
or a manticore?
further questions for us, Scathen?
There is someone else in line.
There is
Yes,
someone
of
else
course.
approaching the table, but I do have a list of anonymous questions still to go through.
Very well.
Final question from myself then. If Vampire Hunters Guild were to lay siege to all of Ardren and fleeing were to become impossible, what would you do in that situation?
If the Vampires Hunters Guild were to lay siege to the entirety of Ardoran and fleeing was not an option, just
Yes.
as I stated previously, I have been put in the unfortunate situation before where I have been tasked with fighting for my life or handing it over. Given that I am still standing, I presume everybody in this hall can assume the choice I made.
Very well.
Okay. Seems they are satisfied for now. Back to the anonymous questions. Though this one I have a bit of understanding. For context, there was an individual that went by the name of Justice that I believe interrupted a proceeding in Brighthaven. The question goes as followed. Was Justice saving Heyu worth the deaths of those guards? Do you believe that?
As I stated previously, I do not think it would be fair or right of me to judge the value of lives.
Mm-hmm.
I do not weigh them on a scale and decide if someone is worth saving.
It is not our place to make a value judgment or any other judgment on who would be more meaningful. I am glad that Heyu is alive. It is a shame that others have died.
Or the other.
Understood. Next question. How can someone be good while hating every non-human? Where do you draw the line in that statement? Please don't ask me for context.
That is my immediate reaction, is to ask you to context, because that is an incredibly broad question. As I've stated numerous times, I do not judge people. I do not think I could define somebody as wholly good or wholly evil. I don't think life is simple enough to slot people into those categories. I think that a good person, while not having a thorough and deep understanding of the complexities of life and all the species we find ourselves coexisting with, I do not think that doing bad things makes you a bad person forever. I believe that we are all capable of change and growth.
Nor do I think it's our place as doctors to make those sort of decisions. We help people. We provide them medical care. That is our profession. That is what we do. And as previously demonstrated and stated, we do that to all people, regardless of creed or species or origin, and we will continue to do it.
Understood. Understood. Next one on my list is... Okay. Why do you support Luminant soldiers that attack Kindred and force Kindred out of Brighthaven, as if only Dunley and Silverlight citizens have the right to be there?
Do I have a right to be in your house? This feels very similar to the whole line of questioning regarding nations and the validity of their existence and the sovereignty over their own borders. I'm not a member of Luminance. I'm not Azariel the Sunbringer, nor am I a paladin with a voice. I'm just a person that is a part of that system. I live under it. The people of Brighthaven have a right to their houses and to their market. I do not believe everybody in a world has a right to everything that they might want. Just like I don't have a right to everybody's houses. It is your land, and that is Silverlight's land. That is how nations exist.
Understood. The one raising a hand, please step to the middle. Like I said, if you have a question on something that is said, please go to the middle. Don't worry about raising your hand.
So
I do not believe that anyone would be permitted to purchase property in Brighthaven or Silverlight were they not a resident.
I have no strong feelings one way
I
or
maintain my stance of we can't just have whatever we want.
I believe
I couldn't
the
claim
question
this
is
as my
mainly-
house. People already live here.
the question's main thing is, I believe the context is, say I'm a resident of Silverlight. I have a right to be there, right?
if
Mhm.
you
Silverlight doesn't shoot its citizens. I don't
Mhm.
understand.
if you live in
Unless
Silverlight,
they
then
learn
you
that I'm a
live in
vampire.
Silverlight. It is.
Well, that is it is being a crime in Silverlight. Being a vampire is a crime
color
in,
me.
in Silverlight, and it is in Dunley too.
Mhm. That is not something for us to make any sort of determination about. That is simply how they conduct their affairs.
Just like in Caladran, being a human is basically
Color me
criminal.
Apathetic.
This is the world
That
we
is
live in.
incorrect. They're more like property. It's worse.
I apologize. I have never been to Caladran. I would like never to visit Caladran.
I think
I
you'd
mean,
like
it's
as well.
You'd like it if you were born there. You wouldn't like it if you visited.
Well, whatever the case, I think it proves my point that nations are a thing that exists in our world, and not all of them treat all species equally. Were I
my-
some form of a figure of significant power in Luminance, these would be fair questions to me.
Just for my
But I-
curiosity,
Go
As
ahead.
you wish.
were taken to the silver mines to work there, and you know what I mean. How would you feel about that?
If I was taken to work in the silver mines,
Yes.
I would not feel great about that, just as I wouldn't feel great being incarcerated in any situation.
My curiosity is sated. Person on the right, please ask your questions.
Was there a...
I very pointedly have. A few months ago, I was sitting in my home in the middle of Brighthaven when I heard
Have
the
no
sounds
strong
of fighting
feelings one
outside.
way or the other.
I went outside to find a hooded individual slaughtering Brighthaven. I engaged them with words and begged them to stop. Told them that they should just leave, and if there was something they needed out of Brighthaven, I would be more than happy to help them get it. They did not, and we engaged in a brief bout of combat, upon which they departed, and then returned reinforced by Gevera. When Gevera realized that I heard them speak, they opted to depart, but Gevera returned a few days later and enacted in the same practice. And when confronted to leave, they said, "What if I don't?" And we fought until they were put to knee, and I took off their hood and
Apathetic.
asked them why, and begged them to be a good person and left them there.
This incident then continued after Dr. Pine departed, where, since I was also present, that we spoke with them on knee. Eventually, Gadiel arrived. Gadiel helped them to their feet, at which point they continued
So it shall be.
in killing the guards, this time out front of the silver mine, despite pleas not to. This then ended up being another bout of combat, which ended up with Yejin getting putting to knee. They did not rip Yejin's throat. I helped Yejin to her feet, and we returned inside of Brighthaven, at which point this entire engagement ended. To answer the question, no.
I do not believe the argument of self-defense can be made when the materials you're gathering are being picked out of the corpses of Brighthaven citizens.
And as was previously stated, if there was a material need, we were happy to provide it in a non-violent fashion. That was explicitly stated to the parties in question.
Interesting. Rupert.
I have a few more questions. They're not fairly complicated. Do you particularly like fighting?
No.
No.
I do not enjoy it.
Do you tend to go seeking out fights?
No.
I make a point to avoid them.
Do you find yourselves to be particularly competent fighters?
No. And I believe anyone who has ever sparred me can attest to that. My typical sparring routine is to run away, and then eventually I get caught and I lose.
Would you consider yourselves non-combatants then?
We don't seek out fighting, though if someone attempts to kill us, we will not lie down and die.
I reckon most would not be content to lie down and die. That's all.
And Dr. Pine's answers to this, as you did not answer 2 of those questions.
I do not believe skill in combat relevant to how willing someone is to employ it.
Fair answer.
I do not think that someone should be made to do something because they are good at it. But I would not consider myself a soldier or a fighter in any capacity.
Do you enjoy it?
No.
That's all then.
Charlie.
Rupert, I can attest to what they say. They're telling the truth. How can I put it? I've defended them multiple times. I've sparred with them a few times. They are definitely not fighters. I've seen them spar or get dragged into a spar before. They are definitely not fighters, and they do not seek out fights. If anything, they almost beat me over the head whenever I go out on a dangerous hunt. So, they're not fighters. And if anything, they encourage people from doing stupid things.
Edmund.
I just seek 2 points of clarity. Rhea, your residence is where?
My citizenship is Dunley. Our collective residence is Farbane.
Do you sleep in Dunley, or do you sleep in Farbane?
I sleep in Farbane.
And to Pine, did I hear you say correctly you put Gavora to his knee?
Mm-hmm.
You, by yourself?
Rhea and Yejin were also combatants in the fight.
Ah,
Yejin did most of the fighting.
I see. Thank you.
By all means, ask your question.
This was
I had already
previously
stated the
elaborated.
exact cause of events on the incident you're referring to. I have not hunted down anybody.
They did state a confrontation in Brighthaven.
Hmm.
That then ended at the silver mines by my previous statement.
It would be like stating Skathan hunted me down because I started attacking OG here.
Don't be silly. I wouldn't hunt you down for attacking OG. OG will be fine.
As previously stated, this confrontation involved myself, Pine, and Yejin did much of the fighting. Dr. Pine and I ensured that there were no fatalities as a result of this encounter. We have
Is your line of questioning to say that to be a non-combatant means that you could never in any scenario engage in combat? I very pointedly didn't state myself as a non-combatant. I am not a soldier, I am not a fighter. I think the definition of combatant and non-combatant is a term that doesn't apply to the daily goings-on of our lives. We are not at war.
I believe we are.
I would reconsider perhaps taking a look at a map of Silverlight. The distance was not a half.
It was from the north gate of Brighthaven up the hill. If you have ever walked up that hill, you would know that you can summit it in perhaps 10 to 15 seconds of running.
If you recall the recounting of events, we already caught them in Brighthaven and bid them to leave, affirming that if they left right now, then it could just be as it was, and we would help them get anything they needed. They came back. That was absolutely an answer. You stated that we could have just let them depart. I stated that we did let them depart earlier in the month. I will answer all of your questions honestly, but I will not be framed and accused by pointed questions in which are structured for me to admit to guilt I do not have.
I don't think he needs to answer any more of this question. I think his answer was sufficient.
Thank you.
I see one person waiting to speak, so you might as well.
I wish to speak, but I do not have questions for Drs. Rhea and Dr. Spine at this point.
Is it a matter that can wait?
Until after they have departed, yes.
Understood. We will discuss that afterwards. Okay. Back to the list of anonymous questions, as I would love to get through all of these. So, this one conveniently does tie into the previous question almost, in a way, as it is tied to telling people they should run. And I quote, "You claim that they should run, in regards to non-citizens, possibly, when they're being attacked by guards, when you yourselves would defend yourselves with weapons and magic when needed to. In that case, are you not supporting their prejudice? Is that why you're so quick to sell out supernatural friends to the Vampire Hunters Guild?"
I'm going to break that down into two questions because the latter half of that is clearly a pointed accusation.
Someone has strong feelings.
The first half I feel like is a question I have answered several times, relating to the existence of sovereign nations and the legitimacy of them enforcing their borders. I don't really have a whole lot else to say on the matter. I would not go walking into Caladran because I am not welcome there. I know better. And if
How
I was
about
in
this? Let me word
Caladran
the
and
question
someone
a little
attacked me,
better.
I would flee.
Let me word this question a little better, because it is a bit too wide. Let's say both of you entered Gloomrock. You are looking for mutant grease. And the Transcendium try and murder you for being in their lands. Would you kill them, or would you flee?
This does not need to be a hypothetical because the situation has happened to me and I have fled.
I have made every effort to stay out of the way of the Transcendum guards as they go about their business.
Understood. Okay. This question is tied to the Inquisitors, or Inquisitor. Are you going to fight the Inquisitor or Inquisitors when he or they undoubtedly return? If you're at Fret, I guess.
If the regard is in general and on if Dr. Rhea and I are going to answer the supposed call to arms that appears to be going out of people rallying forces to fight the VHG, no. We are not soldiers. We do not intend to take side in the conflict. Our only hope is to survive it.
Okay. So you're stating that you'll keep a neutral footing.
It is our hope that we can stay far away from the Vampire Hunters Guild and never see them. That would be an ideal outcome.
I would hope that is the case then, when that time comes. This question's already been answered technically. This one's already been answered. This one has been answered a little bit, but not given a yes or no answer. If you had the chance, the Vampire Hunters Guild Scouts, if they were alive, would you provide medical aid, or would you let them bleed out on floor?
As we have stated, we do not deem ourselves appropriate to judge the value of human lives just to save lives.
So you would provide medical aid?
Mm-hmm. And likely I believe the people of Ardoran would have been better for it. The VHG is going to come back with a fury because their people have been killed. A fury that we will all feel, myself and Dr. Rhea included.
Understood. Last question from my list, and then I'll leave it to the floor, or OG, I guess. If one of the Vampire Hunters Guild or Inquisitors found one of your family or friends guilty of something and burned them at the stake, would you continue still aid? Would you aid them?
I do not believe in any point we have been admitted to or have claimed to be or are aiding the VHG.
Nor,
We're not supporters.
nor do we have any intention of going to find them or going to speak to them or anything of that sort.
Understood. OG, you can ask your question.
Thank you. Dr. Rhea and Dr. Pine. I'm gonna presume you hold deep feelings for your family, you care for them a lot, correct?
They are my family. I care for them very much.
And you would go to extreme lengths to protect them.
I would protect my family, yes.
To the very extreme, doing absolutely what is necessary to do so.
This is incredibly vague and speculative.
It's a simple question. Would you go the full length to protect your family no matter what?
If it makes you feel better, I would go to any lengths to protect my family.
As would I.
I do not believe I would.
So you draw a line at some point. This is a question to both of you, and I would like you both to answer.
I would do everything I reasonably could to protect my family, yes.
Fine.
As I've stated, I do not believe there is a limitless sort of wiggle room there. I would not kill 1 million people to save one.
I see. Okay. Then my next question, if you allow me, Lord Scatton.
By all means.
You are aware of what happened in the dojo when the Inquisitor came knocking?
The details and the specifics are lost on me, but I have a vague understanding.
I'm surprised it would be lost on you since one of your sisters was there. Yejin and Mina.
Yejin and Mina are not my sisters.
I don't know your relationships, but I just presume. I apologize if that offended you, but your family, Yejin and Mina, were both present. They witnessed firsthand as our talks devolved very quickly. Now, one thing I never really managed to hear from either of you was that during this time, the Inquisitor came, asked questions, and yet even though they were within our walls, we didn't go to any length to try and drag them into the mess that arrived at our door. So why, through all the reports that you posted on the Waygates, do you seek to share the most amount of details you possibly can, knowing the danger that these postings can bring?
We do not seek to share the most amount of detail that we possibly can, which I believe is well evidenced if you were a first-hand witness of any of the associated events. And if you then compare your lived experience of any of these reported events with their description upon the Waygates, you will find that they lack identifying details that can be used to, in most cases with a singular exception, they lack identifying details that would be necessary to track down who was involved.
That may be the case, but you always state which doctor's attending them.
Yes, it is Vardaran Medical Association policy
Mind if
that
I
the
inquire what the
attending...
question is?
Oh, I'm trying to learn more about your characters. That is primarily my line of questioning here. I've heard about you. I've seen you. And I understand that a lot of the answers that you have provided here have been backed up by your actions. And then there is, regrettably, a line of hypocrisy that I do see. And I wonder if you can tell me what that is.
You want us to describe for you a line of hypocrisy that you see in us that you are not stating for us?
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid that I don't follow in that case.
Okay. You are doctors. You claim to be non-combatants. You claim to be neutral. Claim, well, a lot. And yet, there's an element of that, at least to me, seems vague.
Yes, for clarity, we haven't claimed to be non-combatants, and admittedly have refuted the title in its entirety, as I don't think it's fitting to the state of
Well, I will
Ardor.
correct you on one thing. Rhea claimed to be a non-combatant, but Pine, you did not.
And I would also like to state that I have not expressed ourselves to be wholly and entirely neutral, just that we do not want to get involved in the war between the rallying cry of citizens of Vardoran and the Vampire Hunters Guild.
I am of the firm belief, as evidenced by the Vampire Hunters Guild's history, that an attempt to meet them in open combat will, even if you win today, it will mean that tomorrow they come back with more of their soldiers, and I would like not to get killed by them. I do not believe that attempting to fight the Vampire Hunters Guild, man to man, as it were, is a situation that will go well for anyone attempting to fight the Vampire Hunters Guild.
I mean, ultimately, if the Vampire Hunters Guild is gonna come here and create havoc, there is a rallying cry. Surely you would stand in your right to defend your home, no?
I care about my life, and the lives of those close to me, and the lives of every innocent person more than I care about the bricks and the wood holding my house together.
Yes, but we're talking about innocent people. They won't just come after us vampires.
As Rupert has
it's
clarified,
not a matter of whether they seek combat. It's whether they'll choose to defend their family, as many of us here would.
we are not telling you what actions to take. We are not telling you not to defend your family. We are simply stating that we do not seek combat, as Rupert has underscored, and that we would like to stay out of it. As Dr. Pine has said on the point of bricks, we believe all lives are worth saving. Bricks can be rebuilt. If somebody dies, that is permanent.
Any more questions, OG?
No, I'm satisfied.
Understood. Given that this meeting has been going on for a little while, I would like the last two people who are waiting to answer their question or ask their question, please limit it to one so that we may soon leave in a timely manner.
It's okay. You brought up the exact point I was about to bring up. These two probably need to go out to investigate the harpies, and we have like 15 ticks until probably the harpy investigation is going to happen.
I don't even know what you mean.
Okay.
There's harpies all over Brighthaven.
Yes.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
But I also need to go to consider my notes on Spectre Dyscrasia, which I believe I might be off.
So I was just asking I was asking you if it was more of a question for you, if you could try to wrap this up. For
Well,
that
that's
sake.
my plan. One question only.
Yes, I do have one question. About 2 years ago, massacre at the markets. Do you know who wrote reports?
The report on the Dunley Market,
Yes,
the one that was posted on the Wigates,
correct.
or the one that is stated with.
Signed.
Yes, that
Yes,
one
the
is
that
signed
is
by
I am aware that it is signed.
by Francisco de Torquemada. It is on the
Yes.
Wigates under his name.
I am aware.
Then that is your answer. Neither Dr. Pine nor myself wrote that report.
I'm going to say no more questions at this point, as I believe that should be all. I'd like to thank Dr. Pine and Rhea for coming and entertaining the questions that they were given, and thank you for your patience for this evening.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Now then, Rupert, Emmon, can you escort Dr. Pine and Rhea out for me?
Aye. Right, come on.
Thank you for being here.
If you have questions, you may write.
Thank you again for coming.
Mhm.
Sorry that we're long. I were hoping it wouldn't be.
I'm always of the belief that any question is a good question.
It was
Seeking knowledge,
noted.
bad thing.
The,
Mm-hmm.
the only
I
thing.
suppose I were more of the mind that every question is a stupid question and therefore they should be certainly asked. Because you don't know nothing if you're asking questions. But nobody really knows nothing until they find out.
That's why every question's a good one.
It helps give you more knowledge.
Stupid and good. Both at once.
Stupid and good.
So those incident reports are policy.
You know,
What?
I'm glad you brought that up, actually, because the Inquisition has led us to make some rather meaningful policy changes about how we conduct ourselves going forward.
Seems pretty careless. Invite undue scrutiny on the non-human citizens of the area.
And you will note that since the report about the VHG, there have been no further incident reports. It's not that no further incidents have happened. It's that there have been no further incident reports on the Waygates. We have come to the collective understanding that the incident reports we made to help keep people safe have been used to hurt people, and we have adjusted our
Indeed.
policy accordingly.
Indeed. Vampire Hunter Guild torched my village. I also watched this Inquisitor. That incident, answering questions honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate we have no say in the lasting consequences. You
I
guys have a
owe
good
it
day.
my life. I don't think ill on supernatural creatures.
No, and both Dr. Pine and myself have actively protected many of that persuasion.
Thank you. You too.
Be safe.
Amen. I will be going to investigate